Hey everyone, how are y'all? Now, Sally Mae, why are you gonna go to the doctor now and tell that man that it's our fault that you stayed up late? Betty Jo, you counted my whole minute down too, didn't you? I was trying to find a ponytail holder to pull my hair up with. That's why I was late. Oh, it's a woman and she didn't believe you. See, Sally Mae, you should have told her to come join us one night. And then she would see that it's not us, it was you. You were the bad influence last night, not me. You can come up if you want to, Sally Mae. I don't care. All right, y'all hit the thumbs up. Put your chat on live chat. Let me put my little status thingy over here on Discord, letting everybody know we are live. I'm spelling shit wrong. Just on. How are you? Not bad, Betty Joe. I didn't know you were in backstage.
You're all right.
Hey, Too Fast. How are you?
Did
I
you
was
see
in
where
the.
I counted the six?
Huh?
Did you see where I counted the 60 in the chat?
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking for. Oh, wait. Sally Mae, is this you in my back chat or in my backstage? Put it in private chat if it's you or somewhere that I know that it's you before I bring you up. I don't know if this is her or not because her little S icon is different. Okay, she said it's her. Shane, how are you? Sally Mae, how are you?
Hello.
Oh my God, y'all, we got Sally Mae on panel.
Yep.
I thought I'd come help you with Crystal's case.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yes, because you have been following this case from the jump. Hey, Vapor, how are you?
I
Uh,
have a lot of things it's hard for me to remember because of my memory issues, but once I hear them again, then it comes back to me.
okay. Well, so you watched, hey, LC Avery, how are you? You watched Lawyer Lee, right? I didn't get to watch
Yes,
her live. Okay, so
yes,
she was in the courtroom today.
she was.
So, like I said, I have not watched her live yet, but I did go keep up with what is WHAS 11 News,
Yeah,
and they had like up to date because they also had someone in the courtroom, and they were doing live updates throughout the day. So I pretty much went through and just wrote down everything that they were
right.
writing and
Yeah,
everything. Um, there's some lot of interesting things though that they were talking about
yeah.
today.
I'm sure they did talk about some of it, and then um, some of it were reminders from people in Lawyer Lee's chat that have followed it as long as I have.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Because my mind isn't like retaining stuff like that anymore, right?
Right. Hey, Tiff.
It's like moved over to get the stuff that I actually have to have day to day.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand that. Um, okay. So Steve Lawson, which is so there's three defendants in this case. There's Brooks Houck, which was Crystal Rogers' boyfriend at the time that she went missing,
Right.
and then there is Steve Lawson, who
Mhm.
and his son Joseph Lawson. Now
Right.
Brooks and Joseph are their trial is together. Uh,
Right.
I did not get any information other than Joseph Lawson's charges for,
Right.
what he's
I
been charged for in this case. Most of the information that I have was to do with Brooks and the few witnesses that took the stand today, because they also had opening statements this morning.
right. I think what Lawyer Lee said was that Joseph's charges are pretty similar to Steve's.
It, from what I could see, they both have the same conspiracy to commit murder and
Mhm.
tampering with physical evidence. That's
Right,
what
and
both of them
they
have.
already convicted Steve.
Yeah, so that's what I was wanting to ask you. So Steve did not. He wanted a separate trial. Um,
He did, but he's wanting a new trial, but I don't know that he'll get it.
I mean, I didn't keep up with it. I don't know why I didn't keep up
Just
with
the
his
fact
trial.
that they let the trial go so fast.
Oh, was that the one that was like 4 days long? Hey,
Yes,
Courtney.
and he's saying, well, they didn't give me a fair shake or whatever. So I don't know if they will or not. I haven't read like what all his criteria are for wanting a new trial.
Because I know that he had said something about they would not allow him to enter, or was it he couldn't enter? There was some hair that was found in Crystal's car, and he couldn't enter that into evidence, or they didn't test it, or something like that.
Yes, I did hear about that. I think I was a little bit confused about that. Lawyer Lee talked about it, but I didn't really pick that up because I didn't know much about it.
Okay, because there was some information as far as what was found in Crystal's car that the detective John Snow said today on the stand, which tomorrow when it picks back up, he will be back on the stand first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And Avery, if you want to come up, just let me know in the chat. Um, but for whatever reason, I didn't keep up with Steve Lawson's trial, and I don't know why I didn't. I guess I just assumed that they were all three going to do
Yeah, I mean,
one trial.
I knew about him and his son, but
Yeah, I knew about them, but I
I
don't
didn't
know.
watch much of it.
I I guess I just assumed they were all three going to do a trial together, and I think at the last, like I mean, literally, his trial lasted 4 days. They deliberated. How long was it? It wasn't very long. That
Not
the
very
jury.
long.
I mean, his trial literally lasted a hot five
A
seconds.
minute.
I
Yeah,
think
um,
they said they deliberated like an hour or so.
yeah,
that could be.
it wasn't very long. It was literally, if I blinked, I missed the trial. That's how fast it was.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
I do know that he is wanting a new trial. Um, he does have the same charges as his son Joseph. Brooks has murder and tampering with physical evidence. Um, he did take the stand.
There's my
Steve did.
friend. Hi, Cherokee.
Cherokee girl, how are you? Thank you for joining us. So Steve did take the stand. He did actually admit to, because there was some contradiction in what was told from Joseph, Brooks, and Steve. Steve got on
Right,
the stand and said that the reason why his phone and his son's phone pinged on the Bluegrass Parkway, which is the parkway where Crystal's car was found,
right,
was because his son Joseph had broken down on the side of the road in Crystal's car. Now,
right,
her car was found on the Bluegrass Parkway, mile marker 14, I think is what it was. It had a flat tire. Her purse, cell phone was still in the car. The keys were still in the ignition. He did admit that he did go there to pick his son up after his son broke down in her car. And he even said that he would take the blame for uh, being the one that pushed the front driver's seat up, because Crystal, I forgot it now, I don't have her description in my notes here, but uh, I think they had, in order for them to drive the car, they had to push the front seat back. Well, he ends up pushing it forward to make it look like she was the one that was driving.
right. Yeah.
So
Um,
I don't have any notes other than that. As far as Steve's trial, he was convicted. He was found guilty.
right.
Um, They are recommending. He has not went to sentencing yet, but they are recommending 17 years. So,
Yes, I heard that.
um,
There's something that we can play, and that is the Brooks police interview.
okay, I think I have that
You can
on
play
this.
that off of wherever, and you'd be fine, I think,
I
because the
bel
news has it. I think for WHAS 11.
Yeah, I think I seen they had put a link in here to it in uh, the courtroom activity today.
Um,
Because I also do want to go over the courtroom activity. Just I'm gonna try my best to keep up with it. Y'all should have saw me today. I was running around like a chicken with its head cut off. I was trying to write notes. I was trying to pack some stuff up. I was trying to
he
do
was
this.
busy.
I was like all over the house. I didn't know what I was doing. Sally, not Sally, mate. King Scarlet, how are you?
Hello,
Yes,
King.
King says we have a special guest on panel. King, she asked me if I wanted her to come up, and I thought she was joking. Like when she came backstage, I had to make sure that it was her.
Long time ago, I came on panel, like when I still lived in Oregon.
Yeah,
You don't remember that?
your voice sounds familiar,
I
but do you know how long ago that was?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I remember.
Was you up here with me, Betty Joe?
I think so.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah,
Because we
I believe
did.
so.
I think that was before Willie Boy was around.
Oh God.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Because I didn't know about the Crystal Rogers case way back in the day, and you're the
Yeah,
one that
when I
told me
talked
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So that might have
right.
been when you had came up. Let me do this real quick.
Yeah, it's like I'm a lot of my interest is in how I know Brooks did it, and Nick and his mom have been named as having something to do with it.
Yes, they are
But
an
I'm
uncon.
interested to find out how some of these other murders that have taken place are how they're going to go about um, talking about that, whether they're going to come up in this trial. You would think it would have to in order to be able to um, do a trial just for those murders, right? Because there's the first one that everybody thinks about is her father,
Right, which I
Tommy,
fully
who was
believe.
killed in 2016, a year after Crystal went missing.
It was 16 months after she went missing that he was
Yes.
murdered.
And then previous to that, there was a police officer that worked with Nick Houck who was ambushed and murdered while on duty. And then a year later, there was a woman and her uh, adult daughter that were both killed. And nobody's really ever said why they think they might be associated, but it's been some kind of a like, oh, like always making it sound like maybe it had something to do with it, right? But
Right.
I think Nick killed Tommy,
I do too.
and I think that he killed the other officer.
You know what? I've
Tell you
completely
why.
forgot. I forgot about the officer getting murdered.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting ahead of things here, so I'll
No,
let
no, no,
you.
no. You're if you remember it, because I know how your memory is. If you remember it, go ahead and say it. Even if I'm talking, cut me off and
Yeah,
say it so you don't
well,
forget.
with Tommy, Crystal's dad, um, Nick tried to sell a rifle that was the same make as the gun that killed Tommy, and he tried to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, and
Mhm.
it was a undercover officer. So there's that. They caught him with it, and then for the officer, so he was killed 2 years before Crystal. What that had to do with anything, I don't know, except for that Nick was on that police force.
Right.
And somebody ambushed him on the road. They had set up like a roadblock, a fake
Mhm.
roadblock, and had shot from a high elevation down to where his vehicle was and killed him.
Okay, let me ask you
Tommy,
something real quick.
Tommy was killed when he was out hunting with his grandson.
With Crystal's oldest son.
Yes.
Okay, the officer, because I remember when
Yes, I believe his name is James Ellis.
I think so.
I think I sent it to you. I think that's what the name was.
Okay, so do you remember way back in the day when you first told me about Crystal's case, and there was something that had happened in her case that got it brought back up into the media and everybody talking about it again? And me and you had went and looked on Google Maps, and it had something to do with um, there was like it was I don't know if it was on the Bluegrass Parkway because it kind of looks like an interstate or
Yeah.
whatever running with exits and everything. But
Mm,
I remember something about me and you looking up. There was in her case there was something had happened at an exit, and for some reason I was thinking that's where they found Crystal's car. But whenever I went back, and it took me like several hours the other day to find mile marker 14 on the parkway,
right.
it it's not far from an exit, but it's not at the exit. So the
Oh, okay.
officer that was murdered, did that happen at an exit, and that's what me and you were looking at?
I believe that murder took place in a rural type spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
I
remember.
don't remember why. I think what I'm remembering is that let's first talk about Crystal's mother, who is like one of the strongest women I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And she pushed and pushed and pushed, to go after who was involved, right?
Right.
And I remember a couple, 2, 3 years ago, they were over the years they had like dug up different driveways that Brooks Construction Company built those homes.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking for Crystal's remains.
Right.
And on one of those, they found something. I never did. Well, they probably didn't release what it was that they found, but they found something. And I'm sure that it will come up in the trial.
But do you remember whenever that came up, me and you looked for that to find out what it was that they found? It was an item of interest, and they never released what it was.
Right, right. That's why we were looking. Yeah, yeah. No, nothing's ever been said about what it was that I'm aware of.
So hopefully, being that this is Brooks's trial, because more than likely it wouldn't have been brought up in Steve Lawson's trial. Well, it might have been, but we didn't get to hear it. Um, but hopefully, with Brooks's trial, we'll get to hear what it is because
Right.
apparently, like, there's a lot of information that I didn't even know about, as far as like the whole Houck family. Whenever they went in and testified before the grand jury, that they secretly recorded their testimony.
Yeah. No, I knew that. I heard that a while back. And I couldn't believe that shit that they did not charge the family at the time. But I think somebody in the family was one of the people that was involved in that actually got caught lying to the grand jury.
Mm-hmm.
And that person, they finagled a deal, and in doing so, they got lesser charges for giving information, I believe. So
Oh,
that person's already been convicted for whatever it was. I did not know that till today. I had not heard that.
that's interesting. Just Don, thank you so much for that super chat. That is very nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, there was. What else was it? Hold on, y'all. I had to number my pages of my notes. There's so many of them.
Did you get more notebooks out?
I went and digging today, and but see, I had some Crystal Rogers notes somewhere,
Right, right.
and I don't know where they went. So
Oh,
I
they're
had to.
there.
I I'm pretty sure they are. But I had to pack all that stuff back up, and then I had to pack up some other stuff so I could move it and get it yeah, it's a long story. But anyway, yeah,
Right.
I went through the whole court thing today, and there was so many pages. I got to go get paper tomorrow. Um, just for the trial notes, just opening statements and like four witnesses so far. I have 7 pages of notes,
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's front and
that's
back.
what lawyer Lee was doing tonight. She was first of all when she tried to go live. When she travels like that, she stays in hotels, and
Hmm.
sometimes she can't get the Wi-Fi to work right. So
Right.
she was about an hour late in getting started, and
Yeah.
she was trying to make sense of her notes. There's so much stuff.
Oh, I'm telling you, like whenever I can't like with them being in the courtroom, they can't type, so they're having to write everything. I can just
No, yeah,
imagine
they have to write everything.
what their notes
Right.
are looking like.
She
Because
had to do that when she went to the Delphi trial too. She
yeah,
covered
see,
that.
it sucks though because I get that they don't want computers, cell phones, stuff like that in there, but just having a computer in there that you can, because I can type and listen to somebody, you
Right.
know, a lot easier than I can write and listen to somebody.
Now, part of it probably had to do with what happened with the grand jury. I imagine.
Probably, but see, that's what's weird though. Uh, so they think that Brooks Houck's mom, Rosemary, she's the one that kicked this whole thing off, this whole idea to get rid of Crystal because her and Crystal did not have the best of a relationship. She thought that Crystal was beneath them. I mean, they're wealthy
Right.
people. They have like a
Apparently.
200 and something acre farm in
Right.
Kentucky. They have money. Brooks had a construction company. Nick, the brother, worked for the local police department in Bardstown.
And uppity Southern woman.
Yes.
But that wasn't the only reason, though. Apparently, I'm remembering back some things are starting to come to me, and that was that Crystal worked for Brooks in his construction company.
Hmm.
Well, it came out today that he was only paying her $500 a month, and she pretty much ran the rental business, right?
Right.
Well, there was something that he was doing. I don't remember now what it was. It was something that was very dishonest that she was going to report, and
Oh,
I'm thinking that it had to do with taxes, possibly,
yeah.
and that they thought she was going to expose that, and so chose to take her alive rather than just
Well,
coming
oh,
forward
I know
and
what it was.
confessing
The
that.
the rental properties. When he was when he was getting cash, when he would get cash for it, he wasn't turning it in on the taxes.
Yes, yes, yes,
I think that's what it was. I
yes.
do
Now I
remember that.
remember. Yeah.
And
So she was trying to do the right thing, and they didn't want her doing that because they would have went to jail.
right. Well,
It wouldn't have been her. It would have been
I'm
him.
look what happened.
Yeah.
He's already in jail. Well, apparently, so yesterday on the 24th, jury selection began. They set a jury very quickly. Um, I did not see how many men, how many women, none of that information as far as the jury is concerned. Opening statements happened today. Started off with the prosecution, Shane Young. Uh, he did say that the case is relying on circumstantial evidence. It is what they call a no body homicide. They do believe that Crystal
Right.
is deceased. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they
Yes,
declare her
I
deceased?
believe so.
Okay, she is a mother of 5 kids. She has four by previous relationship. The youngest one she had by Brooks.
Right.
Um, so the mother, Brooks' mother, Rosemary Houck, apparently she got in touch with a guy named Danny and wanted Danny to talk to someone about getting rid of Crystal. And Danny's
Right.
words was, "If you have enough money, you can." Oh shit! Hold on. Enough money, you can get anything done.
Right.
So I think the mom is the one that started the whole plan. Brooks and Nick is going to jump in with Mama because that's their mama and all this
Right.
and that. And apparently Brooks had made a comment to one of Crystal's friends who took the stand today and said that him and this Christina Holly girl grew up together, but her and Crystal were
Right.
also friends, had been friends for several years.
Right.
And he had made a comment to Christina Holly that if him and Crystal ever split, he had enough money to take their son away from her, and that he did not like the fact that Crystal had four other kids. So, prosecution went through their opening statement. The defense went through theirs, and it was Brooks's attorney that did the opening statement for the defense. Then it moved into the witnesses.
So did it come up in the opening statement from the prosecution that uh, Brooks' mom and brother Nick, the former law enforcement, are both um, co-conspirators? They just haven't been arrested.
Yes, they are considered non-indicted
Right.
co-conspirators who are still under investigation, both of them,
Yes.
Rosemary and Nick.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
they're going to go down.
well, apparently, from what I understood, from what was being said yesterday during jury selection, I can't remember who I heard it from, but apparently Nick Houck cannot be found.
Right. I remember you told me that.
The
That
what
they don't.
can't help?
And Mama didn't show up for court.
No, the mom didn't show up for court. The son didn't show up for court, and then Nick can't be found. What was it, Betty Joe, that you said you had cut out for a second?
I don't know. I was asking who couldn't be found.
Oh, it's Brooks's brother, Nick, who was also a former Bardstown Police Department police officer, um, who Sally and I were talking about a minute ago that we do believe is the one who murdered Crystal's dad 16 months after she went missing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get through my notes because the first witness that was on the stand today was Kylie, which is Crystal's oldest daughter.
Right. Yes.
She says that Brooks had talked about adopting her. She didn't have a father figure in her life. She thought he was going to step up to the plate and, adopt her, help take care of her, be that father figure that she never had. But whenever him and Crystal had their son, everything changed for whatever reason. Now, I didn't. It wasn't in the timeline that I got to read today on the news. There was not a whole lot about these four. I think the most that was said about any of the four witnesses was Detective John Snow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. She talks about how she's never had a father figure. So according to Kylie, on July the 4th, she had tried to call Crystal. Her and Crystal talked all day, every day. She couldn't get an answer. She kept trying to get in touch with Brooks. He wasn't returning a phone call. Crystal didn't return text messages. At that time, she had no idea that her mom, something had happened to her.
Right.
Well,
Because
who was
he had
Brooks
gone.
to
He had
her?
gone
That
out the
Kylie?
night. Sorry. Go ahead.
Who was
What-
Brooks to Crystal?
They were a couple, boyfriend,
Oh,
girlfriend.
Yeah. So supposedly he got a babysitter for all the kids so that they could go out together on the night of July 3rd.
Hmm.
And then come next day on the 4th, she was nowhere to be found. We couldn't get a hold of her.
Right.
Well, they had gone out to the farm,
Hmm.
and he actually had the little one with him. And they believe that that's where she was killed.
Right. So yeah, let me backtrack a little bit on what Sally is talking about. So earlier in the day, July 3rd, Crystal is at Walmart. She runs into a friend of hers. Uh, Wait, I'm hearing an echo. Okay. So she runs into a friend of hers. While she's talking to this friend that she grew up with, Brooks calls her and says, "Hey, I want to have a romantic evening with no kids, this and that. Apparently, Crystal was very excited about this. She didn't know where they were going, she didn't know what they were doing, just that he wanted it to be them two. She also ran into her cousin, Amanda, which was also one of the witnesses today. She tells Amanda the same thing. Brooks is wanting to go have a romantic evening with, without the kids or whatever. This Christina Holly, who I was talking about a few minutes ago, that was the second witness on the stand today, grew up with Brooks, knew Crystal for a long time, was actually at Crystal's house on July the 3rd with her and the kids, and says something about taking the kids out to get pizza. Crystal's like, no, you can't take them. Brooks is wanting to do something with me and him tonight, without the kids or whatever. I thought it was kind of weird that the friend who grew up with Brooks ended up at the house the day, you know,
Yeah, there was, Laura Lee said there was some confusion about her testimony and that there was some miscommunication between the prosecutor and what he thought she was going to testify about. So
mhm,
some of that got kind of mixed up and confused. But it turned out something that she had been using drugs or something and she had to go to the bathroom really bad.
uh,
And she came by there and asked to use the toilet.
oh,
And
okay.
that was supposedly the reason why she came by, but who knows, right?
Right, because this damn thing keeps starting and I'm not clicking on it. I just thought it was weird because that's also the friend that Brooks told that he had the money to take the son away from Crystal if they ever split up. And then she
Yeah,
just,
that was the part that was there was confusion on. So Larry said, I hope that they clear that up tomorrow. There was some stuff that was kind of confusing.
okay. Yeah, when I was reading through that and I was writing and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so he grew it with her. He told her about taking the baby away.
Right,
Now she ends up at Crystal's house with Crystal and the kids. The day that Crystal and Brooks is supposed to go on this kids free romantic evening, she's offering to take the kids out for pizza, and Crystal's not letting her. And then that night, something happens, and Crystal is missing after
right,
that.
right.
I thought there was something weird about that. And this
And
witness,
it could be that there is.
I mean, my little radar went up whenever that was talked about or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Avery says it was exit 14 where Crystal's car was found. Exit 34 is where Officer Ellis was ambushed. Thank you, Avery. And I actually need to write that down because I knew Crystal's car was found at exit 14. I just didn't know about where his was. Where did I write his?
Now, were they married or no?
No.
I didn't think so.
Hold on just a second. Because I will be done. Forgot to see where she say exit 34. And that was on the Bluegrass Parkway, right, Avery?
Should we talk about that stuff before the police interview or
What's that?
about where everything was found?
I mean, we can. It doesn't, as long as I'm just going through like the witnesses in order, everything else doesn't have to be in order.
Right. That's
It,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. But I mean,
Well,
it's as far as like Christina Holly, that was a witness I was just talking about. That she was second. She came after Crystal's daughter. I think there's something up with her.
that
Just
could be.
just
Now,
because my spidey senses are going off, just because she ended up at the house, she claims Brooks told her that about taking the baby away. That same night, something happens to Crystal, and she's nowhere to be found after that.
now, the the night that she disappeared or ended up unalived,
Hmm.
how old were her kids when this happened?
The oldest was 14 The baby was 18 months to 2 years,
Wow.
and the other three kids were in between that.
Yeah, they wasn't. None of them were grown, and this happened in 2015. So you're
I
looking
mean,
at
yeah,
almost
I knew the
almost
oldest
10
was
years.
like 14 or 15. I couldn't remember about the other ones.
Yeah, they're all younger.
That's
Crystal's
crazy.
dad. Yeah, see, Avery, when Crystal's dad was murdered, that was 16 months after she went missing, and
Right.
he had Crystal's oldest son with him, and they had to clear. I think he was 12 at the time that it happened, and they had to clear him.
Yeah.
Um, you know, of foul play in the murder of his grandfather.
Yep.
After
I
his
remember
mama
that.
goes missing, and nobody knows where she's at, what happened to her, or anything, and then they had to go in and investigate and rule out a self unaliving, and said that his gun, the grandfather's gun, had never even been fired. So
Yeah.
they
I
knew
remember.
that someone shot at him and hit him in his chest.
Yeah, I remember watching one of the documentaries, and there was a specific tree, I believe it was along the fence line, where they could see that somebody had uh, been resting their gun there. It was like grooves were
Yeah.
in it,
Like
like
they were
there had
pushed
been
down.
a gun there for a long time.
Hmm.
They probably had sights, and they think the shot came from that tree.
Okay, so King Scarlet, he did search for Crystal, but at the time that he was murdered, he was hunting with
Yeah,
Crystal's son when
right.
he was shot. And if I'm not mistaken, I've got it somewhere in my notes here that Crystal's dad and her brother are the two that found her car
Okay.
abandoned, and that they are the ones that called it in and said that they had found it on the side of the Bluegrass
Yeah,
Parkway.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Okay, let me get back real quick. All right, so we went over Amanda Greenwell, which was Crystal's cousin. She basically just testified that she had saw Crystal at Walmart on July the 3rd. Crystal told her that she and Brooks were going on a surprise date. She didn't know what they were doing or where they were going, but she was very excited. And then after that, Detective John Snow gets on uh, the stand. He also testified in Stephen Lawson's trial a few weeks ago, or back in May. Um, he was at the time in the very beginning of Crystal's case when she disappeared. He was the lead investigator on it. Uh, okay, so yeah, and I've got my light off in here, so I'm having to read this from the monitor light. Okay, so he talked about receiving an unusual missing person case on July the 5th because that is when Crystal was officially reported missing by her mom. He says that Crystal's dad, Tommy Ballard, and brother were at Crystal's abandoned car on the Bluegrass Parkway. I knew I had it in my notes, and noticed right away that it had a flat tire. It appeared that it had went flat while it was in motion, which makes sense because, like I said, Steve Lawson in his trial last month said that the reason why he was out on the Bluegrass Parkway is because his son had broken down in Crystal's car and he went out there to pick him up.
Right.
A story that was told, and I can't remember if this was by Joseph Lawson or by Brooks Houck, but apparently one of those two had said that the reason why the Lawson dad and son, here, hold on, I gotta click off of this because it keeps playing in my headset. That the reason why they were out by, no, it was the attorney that said this. This was in his opening statement. Brooks's attorney said that the reason why the Lawson dad and son were out by the Bluegrass Parkway is because Steve's ex girlfriend, which was his girlfriend at the time, had hid a car from him on a road that was out there close to that area. And
Oh,
Steve and Joseph went out to get the car. It was down some road. And so what it did when they went to get the car, their cell phones picked up off the cell tower that was also picking up in the area where Crystal's car was found.
mm-hmm.
But Crystal's phone was turned off in her when they found it in her car. And the detective says that even though there was a charger in her car, her phone was still cut off. And apparently her phone was cut off like at 9 o'clock the night before on July the 3rd. Okay, so the cell phone was in the car, Crystal's purse was in the car, and the keys were still in the ignition.
Yeah, they
Uh,
wanted to make it look like she had broken down and somebody took her or she walked
hmm
off or whatever,
right.
and it's not what happened.
And okay, so let's see. The cell phone was turned off despite there being a charger in the car. Test runs on the car for DNA turned up with a little evidence to point out who exactly was driving the vehicle. They know that Crystal's son, which the one that she had by Brooks, his fingerprints were in the car. Crystal's fingerprints and her DNA was the only DNA in the car.
Yeah,
Um, Nobody else's. Apparently, in Stephen Lawson's trial, there was some hair that was found, but it was not tested, entered into evidence, or whatever. And I think that is one of the reasons he is also wanting a new trial.
yeah, that could be
Okay, so police found, and everything that I'm reading right now is what Detective John Snow testified today. Um,
right.
po- Police found a Walmart receipt in Crystal's purse with a checkout time around 4:30 p.m. Surveillance footage from inside the grocery store was played for the jury, so it showing that she was in there at that time. Uh, Detective Snow said that Brooks was cooperative with investigators, allowing them to search his truck and his home, but they found nothing. And they were saying that he actually let them go there and search his property without even obtaining a warrant. Let's see. A jury watched nearly an hour-long portion of Houck's police interview with the Nelson County Sheriff's Office, which I will pull up here in just a minute. It was a little unusual that he had not reported Crystal missing, is what Detective Snow had said. Detective Snow had testified about the first search of the Houck home at the Houck family farm on July the 7th. They were looking for evidence of something that might have been burned there. Police did find a large burn pile, but said that it was mostly construction material because Brooks owned a construction company. Um, in Rosemary's house, which is Brooks and Nick's mom, and in Nick's house, they found the audios of the grand jury testimony that they secretly recorded. And Brooks's grandmother, I think she was 82 at the time, so 10 years ago she was 82. Apparently, a private investigator had found out that there was a white Buick sitting in Brooks's driveway that night, and the only person that they knew at the time that owned a white Buick was the grandmother. And then, not long after Crystal went missing, the Buick was sold. They subpoenaed the grandmother to testify before the grand jury. She refused to testify. And then, not long after that, the judge put in an order that anything to do with the grandmother, which I could see this happening because she is an older lady, she may have some health issues, don't want to get her upset
Right.
or anything like that. That anything else that had to do with the grandmother, it would be sealed, be confidential.
No, it was hers that was sealed, not Brooke's mom.
No, the grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the grandmother whose all of her stuff, anything that had to do with her, would be
Right.
sealed.
Okay.
Yeah, all
That
the
makes
Houck
sense.
family though uh, that went and testified before the grand jury, they all secretly recorded their testimony. And according to the prosecution, the reason why they did that is because they needed to all make sure that they had their story straight.
Yep. They weren't very smart though because they didn't know that they recorded it.
And the thing is, though, Rosemary and Nick, and you would
I
think,
mean, they didn't know that their conversation at the house was recorded along with what they had recorded in the
yeah,
grand jury.
but
And
they
so that's,
left. But why leave the grand jury recordings at your house?
I don't know.
Nick, being a police officer, should have known
They weren't
better.
real smart. That's funny. That makes me laugh.
Okay, okay, so we went over the Walmart thing. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, so we went over everything on that page. Okay, so the detective also talked about the dozens of tips the police have received since Crystal disappeared, which have been everything from she's working at a Waffle House in Rhode Island. And y'all know how these cases get. People think
Yes.
that they see somebody and, they're going to call it in no matter how crazy it might sound. So apparently, she was allegedly seen working at a Waffle House in Rhode Island, or that she was working at a nursing home. Detective Snow said that, however, investigators have been unable to verify that Crystal even made it home on July the 3rd of 2015. So they know that she was at Walmart. They know what time she was there. They know what time she checked out, but they can't even prove that she even made it home.
Right.
So it's interesting. Let's see. He also talked about the weather that night that she disappeared, showing a video of a dog park near the Houck family farm. It's clearly raining in the video, but Houck's truck can be seen at the park around 4:30 p.m. So around 4:30 p.m. would have been the time that Crystal was at Walmart. That would have been around the time that she was checking out.
I was going to ask Avery. Avery, when I was looking at the information about Ellis and those two women that were killed, it came up with weird dates. Like it said 2013 for Ellis and 2014 for the women. Well, how could Ellis then? How could he have been killed in regard to this in 2013 when Crystal didn't disappear until 2015? So there's something hinky about the Google, like King says, and they got the dates wrong. So that's confusing at this point.
Yeah, that's why I always try to check like two different. Like I'll go to Brave first and do the search, and then I'll just go from there and go straight
Yeah,
to Google just to see
I
if
wish
it.
I had written it down when I saw it in Laura's chat, but it was much later and I couldn't go back and find it, so I was depending on the Google. But sometimes the Google lies.
Google has a tendency to lie a lot on some things. I'm just saying. Okay, what am I looking for? Hold on, just a second. All right. All right. So his truck was seen at the park at 4:30 p.m., which, like I said, based off of the Walmart receipts, video footage of Crystal in the Walmart, it shows that she would have been checking out around the same time. Okay, so around that same time, Houck had visited the family farm, which can be seen on surveillance video near the farm. The same video shows the truck leaving the farm around midnight towards Bardstown, with Detective Snow adding that Brooks' story has been consistent to this point. Now,
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to answer Avery. Maybe that had to do with the financial thing that Crystal knew about that Brooks was doing that was illegal. That's a possibility. I don't know if you see your comment.
See, I think it was an investigation into Brooks or something else, Crystal. Yeah, so apparently, if I remember correctly, um, I think I want to say it was rental properties. He was
Yes.
receiving cash on the rental properties, and he was not turning that in on his taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And Crystal knew about it, and I think they were afraid that Crystal might say something about it.
Right, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, but eventually he would have got caught doing that anyway,
right.
whether she would have
Well,
said
at
anything
some
or
point,
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
most likely.
Okay, there's Avery backstage.
They just thought that they were going to get rid of her and it would go away.
And
Yeah,
it did. I mean, obviously,
It
y'all,
just made it worse.
yeah,
they're obviously dumb criminals. I mean, you have a police officer at the time who secretly
Right.
recorded his grand jury testimony and then left the recording in his house when they came and searched the house.
I mean, show me a smart criminal.
Oh my God.
Hey, Avery, how are you?
Hey, hey,
Hey,
can
Avery.
you guys, hey, can you guys hear the rain? Because if you can, I'll go inside.
No,
I
No,
don't
I
hear
can
it.
hear it.
you
I
probably
mean,
can hear my.
I mean,
Okay.
I can hear something that sounds like water running, but it's not bothering anything. It's not too loud or anything.
Oh, okay. So
Like,
I think what I
birds.
think happened is whenever the FBI took over the case, and then I think it was 2016 when Brooks got arrested for stealing all those shingles from, I think it was Lowe's or Home
Oh,
Depot.
I don't remember that.
Um, and the FBI got to looking into things, and that's when they found the connection with Ellis, with Jason Ellis.
Oh,
So,
Wait,
but
was
they
it Jason or James Ellis?
Jason,
Oh, Lord, I
Jason,
got
I
James.
guess.
Okay,
I
hold
think
on.
I said James, but I guess it was Jason.
yeah, and but they said they wouldn't release to the public what the connection is, but that we'll hear about it like in the
Yeah, and I
in
think
the
they're talking about his money missteps, Brooks
uh-huh.
in his
That's what I'm
construction business.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was no connection to Crystal until after the FBI took over, and
Okay.
it was like right around when Brooks got arrested for stealing all those
Yeah,
shingles.
that's
Well,
been so long ago that some of that stuff I kind of
yeah,
forgot.
and
Yeah, I
he
don't
ended
even
up
remember him getting arrested for stealing.
Yeah, I don't remember the shingle
I don't
bit.
know.
he ended up getting acquitted
Oh,
for some reason. Yeah, but like he's just like a douche. He's a
he's a
douchebag.
shyster.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that family, whenever they get in trouble because Nick worked for the police department and the family's got money and they got this big ass farm and all this and that, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like that they might throw some money at some judges or some
Yep.
law
Yeah.
enforcement to get
Yeah,
out of it. Just
Well, you got
and
to
I could
remember
be
this is
wrong.
the same state that Nikki Steins is being tried in, and we're finding out that there was so much corruption in that town, in that area. You know, the sheriff that
yeah,
shot the judge and killed him.
yeah,
Yes, in
And
the chamber.
there's a channel called Hillbilly Crime
Uh huh.
that
yeah.
talks about crimes in Kentucky and that how corrupt the state of Kentucky is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's a really good podcast. It's called the Bardstown Podcast,
Okay.
and they get really, really detailed about the Crystal Rogers case. It's
It
really good.
Okay.
it's on
Okay.
YouTube.
Well, I don't know if it's on YouTube, but I listen to it when I'm working and I play my podcast, you know, through my speakers, through Apple or Spotify. But it's
Wait, it's
called
called the
the
Bardstown.
Bardstown Podcast.
Okay, let me see if I can find it real
Okay.
quick.
Ooh, big lightning.
Yeah, we never
We
got the score.
Oh God, the storm is coming from the east, the southeast, and it's going northwest. And
Yeah, we never
I've
got it.
never seen this much lightning, I don't think.
Well,
Okay, they must not have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, they might just be like a audio podcast because I listen to them when
like
I'm driving.
on Apple or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, or Spotify. I think I know they're on Spotify for sure, and I know they're on Apple.
Let's get good old TikTok and see if they're on there.
But you know what's
Right.
interesting about the hair that was found in the grandmother's white Buick?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that hair was 6 to 7 inches long. The
Hmm.
grandmother's hair wasn't that long. Her hair is short
Was it in the trunk?
in the trunk. Yeah.
Well,
And the judge ordered for the DNA testing to go forward, but then the prosecution withdrew their motion to have it tested. So I don't quite understand the
Well,
two hairs.
apparently they were trying to say that if they would have tested the hairs, then it would have delayed the trial, and they've had fucking 10 years.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like
Yeah.
July the 3rd, like in just a week, it would be 10 years that they've
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
But yeah, so Jason Ellis, he literally had just got off the clock, and
Yes.
it was like 2:30 a.m. and he was getting off of the highway onto exit 34, and he came up to all of these tree branches that were in the road.
Right,
So he,
the ambush.
yeah, so he was in a red truck, and he pulled over, and he got out, and he was trying to move the tree branches to get home, and that's when, you
Oh,
know,
yes, that's
Yeah, I
right.
think Nick did that. I think he did.
What is
I
it
mean,
called?
that
The
was
course.
sad.
That
And with,
family's evil.
and then the grandfather, Crystal's grandfather, Tommy Ballard, he
No,
had been,
No,
that's her daddy.
that's her
I mean,
dad.
her dad, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking grandfather because he was with his grandson but
Right,
he had been leading, most of the searches for Crystal.
right.
And so I'm thinking that's what the motive was, but
Yeah,
to do that,
it was actually done on a day when it was just in him and his grandson hunting. And
yeah,
I don't think you were back in chat when I said, do you remember the tree that they talked about that had the notches on it and it looked like a rifle had been in
yeah,
the notches sights and there was grooves in it and stuff,
yeah.
and they think that's where the shot came from.
And who was it that they caught trying to sell a gun that matched
It was Nick.
Nick? Okay, that's right. And
Yeah, and he sold it to or was trying to sell it to an undercover cop on Facebook Marketplace.
oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yep.
But it seems like what it really, I don't know. It seems to me like the whole motive was that Brooke's mother wanted Crystal out of the picture, but wanted to keep their child. That's to me, that's what the
Well,
whole damn thing.
that's what the second witness on the stand today said, that she grew up with Brooks and her and Crystal were friends. And she said that Brooks had made a statement to her that he had enough money to take their son away if him and Crystal ever split. And then all of a sudden, she ends up at Crystal's house that afternoon with Crystal and the kids and wants to take Crystal's kids out for pizza. And Crystal's like, no, you can't, because Brooks wants to go tonight without the kids, for a surprise date or romantic date or whatever. I,
Yeah,
it just seems
Oh,
funny,
Shizzy Wiznut. Shizzy
huh?
Wiznut. And Shizzy Wiznut and their viewers just joined us.
oh yay, we're getting rated. I love it.
Oh, yes, they were in here the other night.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, let me get off of this.
Sally, it's so nice to have you up here on panel.
Me
Girl,
too.
she asked me, she was like, do you want me to come up on panel? I was like, I don't care. You can come up here if you want to. And then all of a sudden she pops in backstage. Diane, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the raid.
Yeah, 'cause Sally's been following this case.
From the jump. So when
Yeah,
Right.
she jumps
For years.
backstage or whatever, and her little S thing is
Me and my
purple.
Dateline and my 48 hours before I ever even got into YouTube.
oh, Sally, you'll love this then. There's a documentary on Netflix on Crystal Rogers.
Yeah, I
Um,
probably haven't seen that one, but I've seen other ones.
Cynthia and Deborah, thank y'all so much for coming in and joining us. And tell Shizzy, if he does not come in here, thank you for sending all of y'all over here for the raid. Y'all are awesome. Thank you. Okay, y'all go ahead. I'm sorry.
And make sure you all hit the like while you're
Yes.
here.
Hit the like while you're here. Even if you're lurking from the bushes, hit the like.
Very kind of you.
Hold on.
Shizzy's a pretty cool dude. I actually need to go find his. Let me go grab his channel so I can post it real quick. Let's see. If y'all hear me talking to myself, just don't pay me no attention.
She does it all the time.
I do, but you know what? I did read something today on TikTok that says that you're of high intelligence if you talk to yourself.
Oh,
Well,
well, I must be very
why the
intelligent
baby
then.
does.
That's what I was thinking. I must be smart as fuck and just don't realize it because I am
Right.
always talking to myself.
That must be
But
why the baby does too.
did it say anything about if you answer yourself?
No,
That's just
just if
plain
you talk
crazy.
to yourself. Just if you talk to yourself, you are of high intelligence.
Because I do both. I talk to myself and answer myself.
Well, that just
That's
means
because
that
you're
you need an
loony.
expert.
Yeah, today the doctor asked me a question. This is a neurologist about some treatment that I've had in the past. And I answered the question, and apparently she was not sure she should believe me and asked my daughter if it was true. I
Oh
just
my
started
god.
laughing. I'm like, that is funny.
Oh my god.
Hey, Christy.
Oh hell, Christy done got it. Thank you, Christy.
So what is their reason for not streaming this trial?
It the
Where is it?
Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky don't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't do
they're
it.
a Commonwealth. Hey Ozzy, how are
And
you?
and they have the problem with the grand jury being recorded.
Recorded. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still cannot believe that these people went in, recorded their testimony secretly, and then left the recording in their house.
yeah, it's funny as hell.
It
But
is because, like, who does that?
so then why did they stream Steve Lawson?
They didn't stream his, did they?
They
No, they
didn't stream his.
didn't stream him.
They didn't
Uh-huh.
No,
stream that?
No.
no,
Okay. I thought they did because I
no.
remember it was short and the jury
It,
only
it was.
deliberated for 2 hours.
I'm telling you, it was like 4 days. It's all it was.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't stream it, and I think it was only like an hour, maybe an hour, hour and a half. They deliberated.
Wow.
Is Shizzy Wisnet from Australia?
Uh, I don't. Hold on, let me go to his thing. He goes. Only reason why I know him is because he goes over to the experts all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's where I met him at. No, he's not.
I gotta tell you guys something really quick.
Oh
Uh
God.
huh.
You know, it's really bad when I say that and people go, "Oh God."
Because we never know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
That's why we say that.
Well, look, I just have to tell you this part, and then we can talk about the case again. But so I took Jaden and his friend Isaac to the movies. We finally went to go see the new Karate Kid, which is awesome. You guys should all go watch it.
Uh huh.
And in our group text, I sent a picture, of me and the kids in the movie theater. And of course, Betty Joe and them were going to be little smart alecks, and they were like, "Oh, she's going to embarrass those boys," and blah blah blah. Well, if
Well, I mean,
you
I kind of chimed in on that too and said that we need to pray for Jaden the friend because they were with you.
see,
I don't know. I don't know anything about that conversation.
it well, it was
Sally Mae, why are
it
you
was in Discord.
lying?
I know. So I did not have. Now these kids were sitting up there doing armpit farts,
Oh,
licking their
Yeah, I'm
hands, and
sure.
ew.
so.
Yeah,
But
I don't believe
it.
that.
Oh, I swear, I promise you, I swear to God. But it never crossed my mind to embarrass them until I had to go to the bathroom, and they wanted to sit all the way at the top of the auditorium. When I come back in and turn that corner before going up the steps and seeing, all those hundreds of people sitting in chairs in front of us, I did a karate move and kicked my foot up high in the air and did a high off,
Oh
and
no.
everybody busted up laughing.
Them
Oh,
poor
that's
kids.
funny. Oh my
But
god.
but it's your fault. It is so your fault.
Not
Wait,
know
wait,
nothing
hold on,
about it.
wait. There's three of
I
us up
know
here.
nothing. I know nothing about it.
It's everybody's fault because I never would have thought to even embarrass those kids
Okay,
if you guys wouldn't have mentioned it.
but it would have never crossed your mind if you would not have been in Discord while you were at the movie theaters.
Well, it was in our group text too. It's both. So see, I was
Okay,
getting
see, that's
double.
Betty. Then that would be Betty Jo and Vapor's fault.
I
Wait a
was.
minute. Wait a minute. I'm not taking no blame.
It was
Scarlett,
Y'all were in the group text over there because see, Scarlett is
All
not
I
a
said
part of the
is,
group text. Remember,
all I said
well.
yeah,
is
I wasn't in the
pray
good
for the
text either.
kids.
me and
It was.
Sally are not in the group text. Y'all did not involve us in it. Well, I'm not giving my phone number out, but I'm just saying I'm not involved in the group text, so y'all can't blame me and Sally Mae for this.
Well, it was like a double dare, you know. So I
Yeah.
had to do it. Well, let me tell you though,
Oh, Lord.
I didn't. I apparently really did not embarrass them because they were applauding me along with everybody else. But, you know, I have back problems and trying to kick my leg up that high, I am, it was not a good idea.
Did you see what Vapor said?
No.
Scarlett, while I'm looking at it,
Uh-huh.
Chrissy said she's got some updates on X from the docket.
Okay, let me jump on X real quick. Chrissy, did you tag me in them over there? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna. Oh no, what? Do I have? Nope, I ain't gotta log in. I don't. For some reason, I have to log into X sometimes. Okay, where are we at? This is News Nation. No, this is.
Oh my
Okay, yeah,
gosh, that's
we're not
cute.
talking about that. Nope, there's somebody missing. That's not it. Chasing people. Here we go. Cuckert's hearing now slated for July the 2nd at 9. Okay. Damn, I got a lot of things on here. Famous YouTuber. Okay, yeah, we don't need to bring that up either. Let's sticker. Yeah, I've got a lot of. I got to go through them all
Yeah.
because I have
It's,
not been on
okay,
X in like 2 days.
it's bothersome to me because I'm not sure they have enough evidence to convict Brooks because
I
they
think they do.
do
They
you because
wouldn't have waited this long and held on to all of their stuff and now going forward with it, except for that she's declared dead now, so I
I
guess
mean,
they maybe feel they can go forward with it.
but
Did
not
they
only
indict him?
yeah,
Yeah.
Then they have enough.
but not only do they not have the body, but they don't even know what vehicle she was um Jaden. Good God, child, you're gonna give me a heart attack. Not only do they not
It could have been one of the it could have been Nick's police vehicle. It could have been Crystal's vehicle. It
but
could have
haven't
been
they
one of
tested
theirs.
them all? Like there would be blood or something. I don't
I don't know. It depends on how she was killed.
that's the
I mean, this
only
is just only
thing.
day one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't
So,
wait to see the evidence.
there is also apparently the recorded conversation of Rosemary Houck talking about the blanket being in Nick's car. Apparently in Nick's patrol car. Apparently there is more context to that. Hey, musical, how are you? There is more context to that, according to the defense attorney. Now I got to go back and find.
Yeah, and
And
they're trying to say that he found the blanket and picked it up. And is that what their defense was today? That he found the blanket and picked it up?
okay, hold on. Because I did prosecution opening statement notes, and then I did defense opening statement notes. So I got to find that part about there being more context. Because originally Brooks was claiming that the night that Crystal went missing, that whenever they got back home, he went to bed, and Crystal was still awake. She was playing on her phone, which they know that that is a lie because whenever they did Crystal's phone records or the forensic analysis or whatever on her phone was actually cut off at like 9 something that night. So they knew that he had lied about that. Okay, let me
Yeah,
find.
you'll see a phone call in the police interview that takes place between Brooks and one of his employees. I believe it was
Oh,
Stevens.
wait, that was when Nick called him and told him not to talk to the police, wasn't it?
No, it was when he
Oh,
was in
okay.
the interrogation room and asked him, why did you call me? I don't really remember. Can you
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
remind
I know what
me
you're
That's
talking
why
about.
you called?
right. I remember him getting the phone call when he was in the interrogation room.
Hmm.
But Nick also called him and told him not to talk to the police while he was being interviewed as well.
Yeah,
I remember
I don't
that.
doubt that.
Okay, so apparently defense, because there was something brought up about Nick's phone being turned off for nearly 24 hours. Um, the defense is saying that Nick had turned his phone off for nearly 24 hours around the time that Crystal disappeared because he was in a fight with his girlfriend and was trying to ignore her blowing up his phone. The defense also claims that there is more context to Rosemary Houck's comments about the blanket in Nick Houck's car, which is his patrol car. Um, he said that the Houck family was paranoid and started recording everything, including the grand jury testimonies, because there was so much pressure on them.
Oh,
Rosemary
poor
was,
baby.
yeah, exactly. Rosemary was a mother who knew that her sons were targets of a massive investigation and worried that the police would find a single hair that would lead them to an incorrect conclusion. So hopefully the whole blanket issue that she was heard on a recording talking about will also be brought up in the trial. Okay, there was something else.
So Brooks was the only one being Brooks and what's his name were the only ones arrested and
There's
charged.
no,
Huh.
there's three of them. So there's Brooks, which was Crystal's boyfriend at the time
Right.
she went missing. Then there's Stephen Lawson and his
Right.
son Joseph.
Oh.
And
Joseph
then
and Brooks,
there's the other one that lied to the grand jury that's already been
yeah, which
convicted.
we didn't know about. We don't even know who that is. Um, apparently they were going to do all three trials together, but
Hmm.
Stephen did not want his trial with the other two. So as Stephen's trial happened in May, he was
Yeah.
indicted. He is
I
supposed to receive like 17 years.
Yeah, I
Right.
remember that.
But there was something that was brought up on the news. Sally Mae, you had sent me that video
So
yesterday.
how come the
What's, I'm
mother?
sorry, what did you say?
There was something that was brought up yesterday. Hold on just one second, Betty Joe.
That's fine.
Um, that was brought up yesterday about when they were talking about the trial. It was the news video that you had sent where the man and woman were sitting down talking about it. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and it was about the 410 rule. Now, I did look up the 410 rule. I wrote it down. I don't know
I
where that
don't
piece of paper
remember. I
went.
know I listened to that. That lady, the reporter, she's been on this for a long time.
Hmm.
And I'd like to pick her brain about the case. She knows a lot.
Well, apparently, the guy that she was interviewing is a legal analyst. He's
Uh-huh.
former prosecutor. He's an attorney.
Right.
He said that he is wondering if they're going to put Stephen on the stand in the Brooks and Joseph trial, and
Yeah.
in order, hey Dan, how are you? In order to get a lesser sentence, because as of right now, the jury is recommending him be sentenced to 17 years. So they are wondering if maybe there's going to be some type of plea deal done for a lesser sentence.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they want Nick to testify and now he's not wanting to, and maybe that's why he's hiding.
I I don't
Or
I, I don't know. I just know that it was brought up that he,
or
and
if
I think it's in that video that
if Mama was gonna testify, or they're just worried they're gonna be arrested.
I
'Cause
think the mom probably will testify, but I think she's not going to show up to court until it's the day that she is supposed to take the stand.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Scarlett, what were you
She
saying?
might have she might have made a deal.
right.
I I missed it. What were you saying about the 410 rule?
Okay, so there is a thing called the 410 rule in Kentucky. I Let me look it back up because I had to look it up when he was explaining it, but he was kind of explaining it
It
fast.
should be mental examinations and testing. Is this for Steve Lawson? Is he trying to get a new trial?
He is trying to get a new trial, but he is basically trying to get a new trial because of the hairs that was found in Crystal's car was not tested, and so therefore he cannot admit
Well,
into evidence. That's the
well, then I
main.
don't. Maybe it's a different 410 rule. The only one I know of in a that would have to do with the trial is mental examinations for
No,
mental illness.
this is about something else, I think.
Huh?
Maybe, I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I don't know either.
This is Kentucky, so I don't know if it's the same in all states or.
I don't know.
Well, get to Googling, girl.
I'll throw myself off. Otherwise, otherwise I would.
Okay, 410 rule. Sally's on her computer. So let's see.
I
So that's
found it.
his reasoning for requesting a new trial is something to do with a 410 rule.
This
No,
is this is something different. Go ahead, Scarlett.
no, the 410 rule has to do with the trials themselves, not for him requesting a new trial. I have not seen all the reasoning for him requesting a new trial, other
Oh,
than the hair wasn't tested. Apparently, the judge said that it would have taken too long, but like I said, they had 10 years to test everything that needed to be
Yeah,
tested.
yeah,
there's a definition here for Kentucky. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, go
yes.
ahead.
Rule 410 in Kentucky refers to the inadmissibility of pleas, plea discussions, and related statements. Evidence of a plea of guilty that was later withdrawn is not admissible in any civil or criminal proceeding.
Let me go back to Discord real quick.
Well, that's very interesting. I'm gonna have to dig into that because I had never heard of that one.
Okay, let me find the thing that Sally Mae posted yesterday, the interview between the legal analyst and the journalist,
Right.
and watch that, and it'll.
That was like in the afternoon yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so. But if you watch that, Avery, the guy, I think his last name is Mud or something, Mud, something like that. But uh, they're going over the case. They're talking about Steve Lawson's trial. They're talking about the Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson trial and everything. And he explains, here it is right here. He explains the the 410 rule and what it is, because the lady that is there doing the interview said that she even did not uh, understand it. Okay, so let me
Huh.
grab the link. I'm going to post the link in the chat. That way
Okay.
everybody can get it. I'll post it private chat, and then I'm also going to tag you, Avery, in Discord.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Well, here, I'll just do this. I'm going to send it to you in a DM, but then I'll also tag you in the main chat. Do this real quick, y'all.
So today was just the first day, right, of the
Yeah,
trial.
they had jury selection yesterday. They set the jury fairly quickly, and then this morning they started with opening statements.
Dang. Okay.
And they had Crystal's daughter took the stand first, then a friend of hers, then her cousin, then Detective John Snow, which was the detective who was the lead investigator on the case when it first happened.
Mhm.
Um, he will, in the morning when they come back into court, he will be back on the stand because they was not finished with him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I put it in the main chat in here. I put it in back chat for y'all if y'all wanted to grab it there. Avery, I sent it to you in a DM on Discord, and I also tagged you in the main,
Oh, okay.
uh, so that way you can find it. Okay. Oh, and
Betty
it was
Joe was gonna say something, and then
Yeah, she
yes.
was.
What was you gonna say a minute ago, Betty Joe? I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask about uh his Brooks's mother and who's his brother?
Nick.
Were they involved in any of this?
Yes.
Yes, but as of right now, they are labeled as a non-indicted co-conspirator. Like they have not,
yeah,
and they're still under investigation. They have not been charged with anything, but they are both still under investigation for their part in this.
and Nick
Because
was a cop.
yeah, he
Yeah.
ended up
Is he
losing his.
still
No, he lost his job. They
okay?
got rid of
Yep.
him. Not long after Crystal went missing, they do know that Rosemary, the mom, spoke with a guy named Danny um, about getting rid of Crystal. And Danny said, because she wanted Danny to talk to someone else about getting rid of Crystal. And Danny said, well, if you got enough money, you can get anything done.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
so I don't know if Danny is on the witness list or whatever. I do know that in the interview that I have posted in the chat, um, they were talking about in Stephen Lawson's trial that there was people on witnesses called that they didn't even know about, and so they are wondering if that is also going to happen in this case, in this trial,
Mhm.
if there's going to be witnesses called that they didn't even know about.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
there were.
Mhm.
So,
I
but
was just wondering if the mother and the brother was charged with anything yet. That's
no,
Yeah.
all.
as of right now, no, they haven't been. But also, like me and Sally was talking about a minute ago, I have always believed that Nick is the one who murdered Crystal's dad.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
do
believe that
too.
too.
He was the one that was caught with a gun that was the right type of gun to have
Mhm.
shot that
Yeah.
bullet. So
Yeah,
Um.
I always believed that too.
And
he was
that's some
trying to sell it.
sick, twisted shit to do that to that
Yep.
man right in front of his grandson.
That's what. Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah, and
exactly.
Yuck.
that was Crystal's oldest son. So this little boy,
Yeah.
Yep.
16 months before this, loses his mom, does not know where she's at. They suspect she's deceased, but there's no definite 1,000% evidence that she is dead, but there's none that she's alive either.
right.
So he's got that. So the grandfather's trying to spend time with him, and then all of a sudden, right in front of this little 12-year-old boy, Grandpa
Mhm.
is murdered.
And
Yeah.
then the little boy gets questioned.
Yeah, he
He
has
has
to be
to be,
cleared. They,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they had to clear him
sad.
of foul play,
This is one screwed up family.
Yep, they sure are the
and
evil
and
sons of
it's
bitches.
so bad because we're not getting to see live what is going on in the courtroom. So we are having to rely on WHAS 11 News, which is where I got all of my notes from. Um, Sally Mae, she's posting Lawyer Lee's stuff in Discord because Lawyer Lee is physically there. So, at lunch break and all that, she's running out to her vehicle to go live and kind of give information on what's going on. So at least we do have
Um,
some
is
people there.
lawyer is I've never heard of Lawyer Lee. Is that a YouTube or on X?
Yes,
Yeah,
she's awesome.
she's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll have to look her up.
let me grab her link
She
also.
she reported on the Delphi case. She was there in the courtroom every day.
Oh, okay.
Right here. I'm gonna grab her link also and post her. That way y'all can uh, okay, here's her link. And then I will okay, there's her link. I'm gonna post it back chat for y'all if y'all want to grab it from there, and then I will go to Discord and post it in there as well. Because as of right now, WHAS 11 News, they have on their website where they are doing updates with each witness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where I got all of my information from because I did not have time to listen to Lawyer Lee. I wanted to listen to her today. My day's been crazy. So I was
Yeah,
just
her
kept.
live started really late, like 8 o'clock. She planned on going live at 7, and she was having trouble with Wi-Fi. So
Okay, and then I'm gonna post her link in Discord. And real quick, we have 249 current viewers in here with only 27 likes. Could y'all please, if y'all would, go hit the thumbs up. Also, don't forget to put your chat on live chat so you won't miss any of the comments. And if you want to join the Discord, it is for members only. So if you want to join us in there, we talk about a lot of different cases. I have a lot of different channels in there for cases. We do have some good times in there. We kind of go left sometimes.
Mhm.
But we do talk about, I don't know how many channels I have in there for cases that we have talked about or has came up and we've looked into. But if y'all want to join, grab your membership, send me an email, let me know your YouTube name, your YouTube chat name in the email so I know that it is you so I can verify that you are a member. And then I will send you an invite link to join the Discord.
Yeah, we have a blast in there.
Yes, we
Mhm.
do. Hold on just a
Sometimes
second.
we have conversations completely in gifts. What do you call those? Gifts.
gifts,
Gifts.
GIF.
Why can't I ever remember that? Gifts.
I don't know.
Because you're Avery.
I remember it because I'm the expert
Yeah.
in gifts.
You are. You do come with some pretty good ones because I'm like, where'd she find that one?
Sally Mae's good at it.
You just got to type it into the search
Search
box.
bar up above it.
Yeah.
Where it comes up.
Hey, are you
the
two
search bar.
experienced? Oh, she's back. Never mind.
Wait, what?
I was gonna ask them if they're experiencing this heat wave, but then you came back.
It's not
Okay.
too bad today. It was low 90s.
It was 112 here.
Okay. Why would you stop asking that just because I come back?
Oh, because I was just making small talk while you were gone.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it was 112 here.
yeah, it was y'all. Let me tell you, it was hot today, and then water went to falling out the sky for like
Yeah,
10 minutes, and then after that, it got down to like in the 80s and cooled off.
it was so hot and humid here today that I was cussing out Mother Nature. I mean, I was cussing Mother Nature.
I told y'all
Pissed
somebody needs to
off.
wear.
Tell them what you told me about your shadow.
Oh no, that was Betty Jo that said that
That was
about her
me.
shadow.
Oh, that
It
was
was so
Betty
hot
Joe?
outside.
Yeah,
My
that was
shadow
Betty
went
Jo.
inside and flipped me off or something like that. I can't remember how I put it.
No, I said when the power went out last night. I can't say what I said in Discord, but I said that somebody needs to give Mother Nature a
Oh
model
yeah,
and a couple of shots of whiskey because it was hotter than two foxes doing you know what in a forest fire. I was about to snap on
Oh, I
somebody.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I gave it to Mother Nature today. It was, you guys, it was bad. I'm out delivering Amazon.
Did
I
Mother
had,
Nature listen to you?
well, I don't know, but if anybody would witness that, because I got out of the vehicle, I punched the air, I cussed, I cursed. I had had enough. I am tired of coming home drenched, having to wear a do rag on my head to catch the sweat. Like, I'm over it. I'm done.
well, summer just begun.
Yeah. I said something about wanting winter today, and Betty Jo was over here complaining about her shadow leaving her. And when I said something about winter, Betty Jo was like, "No, no, we don't need cold weather."
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. Not yet. We
I
just
can't do
got
this.
summer.
I
I mean, I
can't
don't
do
like
this.
the heat either, but
I'm losing weight and I'm not even trying. This is
Yeah,
how
but
bad
see,
it is.
but y'all got to understand though, I'm further south. Well, maybe not than Avery, but I'm further south than probably anybody else in here, unless there's somebody else in South Texas. Y'all, the struggle is real. Let me tell you, down here in the deep south,
well, they said the
especially,
whole.
it's horrible.
Well, they said the whole South is under a heat wave.
Yeah, but I'm considered deep south.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
deep
I'm
south
like,
I
too.
can't wait to get back to the coast. Oh my god.
see, this is why I need to make enough money that I can get a private island, so we can all
And
go to the
Scarlett's
private
gonna
island.
But
Yeah.
also drive from Louisiana to Oregon just so she can see the Oregon beach
I would
and
love
the
to.
Washington beach.
And tomorrow it's supposed to be 100 out, so I can imagine what the heat wave's going to be.
Y'all,
Jeez, Lord.
I,
Yeah. It was 99 here today, so I think the heat index was like 117 or something like that.
it
I mean,
it's
today
horrible.
I just had enough. It's been like so many days of it, and
Yeah, it's been
I
like a
just,
week now.
Musical said I'm further south, but that doesn't count. I mean, you're on a whole nother like hemisphere, aren't you?
yeah, I was gonna say, is there a musical in Australia?
Australia, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we that is what's the cool thing is though. We have always had someone in here from Australia.
Yep.
yeah,
Always. All of our Aussie people are just cool as shit.
yeah. They are. I've noticed that too. Like even on other YouTube channels that I listen
Well,
to.
what was that guy's name that was from New Zealand that used to come in here?
Oh, Tony.
Yeah,
Tony, yeah, he
Yeah.
was full of it.
he's still on YouTube, but
Yeah, I've seen him a
I
couple
think
of days.
whenever Scarlett took her break, I don't think he knows she's back live. He
Yeah, I
has a
think I
different
noticed that.
name.
I
Yeah,
haven't.
I think he changed his name a little bit or something, but I knew it was
Yep.
him.
Yeah, it's Kiwi Mate. That's his name now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we have Musical is in here. He's from Melbourne. And then Shane, I don't know what part of Australia Shane is from, but he's from there as well. But we've always
Yeah.
had someone from Australia in here. Vapor said he's fallen into the drama stuff.
Uh,
Vapor. Oh. Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
meant
I
Vapor
think that's
was.
where I
No,
saw him
I
I
on
was
the
was,
good.
drama channel.
we're talking about Tony.
yes.
Oh, Tony. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He is.
he likes that stuff.
Yeah, I don't do the drama.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He
I'd
used to
much,
he used to say he didn't like it, but that's where he is right now.
yeah, I'd much rather sit over here and shoot the shit with y'all and have fun and talk about cases and be
Right.
involved in the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Real life
Honestly,
bullshit.
right?
Yeah.
Drama is just
They just
too.
do it back and forth to make money off of it. That's all they do.
That's it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous, honestly.
Papers, drama, Elsie, and that girl.
That's why I was in Discord ranting.
I saw it.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that
that had
too.
me, boy.
It doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I missed all that.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
How far back do I
Well,
need to
I'll
go?
tell you. I'll tell you in private chat
yeah,
later
it
on.
was
Okay.
because I don't want to bring it up here
Yeah, no.
because
No,
Okay.
of the situation.
no.
Okay.
I'll tell you in private
Yeah.
chat.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really been able to even watch Discord today because it's just, I'm telling you, this day has just been
Yeah,
crazy.
I was in and out of Discord today, and then I got
Yes,
over
me
on
too, but it kind
TikTok
of
for a little
settled
while.
down in the afternoon, later
Uh,
in the afternoon, finally.
Holy hell! Dan said it was 158 in his car by 10 a.m. today. Holy
Oh, I'm
How
crap!
sure.
158.
I'm sure
Inside of
What?
his
a car.
car.
A car gets very, very,
158.
very hot.
Oh, inside his car.
Yeah, inside of his car.
What the heck?
What?
Shit. Dan, you need
Oh,
to park your car. Is it parked under like a carport or something?
dang. I'm surprised your windows didn't blow.
I mean, I believe it because he's in Florida.
Wow.
You know, he's further south than I forgot about Dan. He's further south than any
Dan,
of
are
us.
you in the Keys?
That is crazy. And that was another thing that was also brought up in Crystal's in the thing today in opening statements. The prosecution had brought up about Brooks getting his windows tinted on his truck a few days before Crystal went missing. And the prosecution is trying to say that the reason why he did it is because Brooks did not want anybody to see that Crystal was not in his vehicle. The defense is trying to say, which if this is true, then it should be easy for that to be proven, was that Crystal wanted Brooks to get his windows tinted dark because their son has an eye condition. Um, and I'm guessing bright light or whatever bothers it, and so she's the one that wanted Brooks to get his windows
Supposedly.
tinted. Yeah, supposedly. That's what I'm saying. If that is the truth, then it should be easy to prove that the son has an eye condition.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I
even
think he does have a condition. They just didn't say when it had been diagnosed.
yeah.
Huh.
See, but that's where also HIPAA laws come into play.
Right, exactly.
Is now if Brooks, because he is, or whoever has custody of him now, because he is a minor. Uh,
You gotta remember he's approximately 12 years old now.
yeah.
So who
Actually,
has?
I think he's with Crystal's mother. Brooks kept him away from Crystal's mother and family all these years.
I was just getting ready to ask who has custody of all the kids.
I think Crystal's mom. I think. Can't say it for definite,
Well,
but
the oldest one would be grown now because she was
yeah, like
14 at the time.
23 or 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the little Crystal and Brooks's son, whoever has legal custody of him, could probably just go to the doctor, fill out a release form for, or just get the doctor to say, yes, he does have this diagnosis.
Right.
It would be
You know, if
easy to
Brooks
prove.
didn't like the fact that she had 4 kids,
Why
then why
get
did
with
he
her?
ever? Yeah, why get with her to begin with?
Because he's
He
stomach yours.
Because he's a
he
no.
knew it when he met her.
Yeah, well, you got crazies running around here.
I
Let me
mean,
tell you.
why tell the oldest daughter that he was going to adopt her? And this
I
was
know, that was
according,
awful.
according to her testimony, this was before Crystal had
I
the
mean, why
baby
do
by
half these
Brooks.
men get with women that hits it and turn around and do what they do?
Well, let's look at cockroach. That's
Oh,
one reason.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
insane.
know. I didn't know he told the older daughter that, but he
Yeah,
never actually adopted her.
no, she was the first one on the stand today for the prosecution, and she said that he had talked to her about adopting her because she had never had a father figure in her life, and she thought he was actually going to step up to the plate, adopt her, be that father that she never had. Well, when Crystal had the baby by him, she said that's when everything changed.
Hmm.
I mean, he knew when they got together, she had 4 kids.
Sounds
Yeah.
surprising.
She had another one, so she had 5 kids total when she went missing.
Yep.
That last one was by Brooks. He already knew this. So why do you have, if you're telling this friend who is a female, who I still think something's up there, um,
Mhm.
that if you and Crystal split, you have enough money to take the baby away, and you don't like the fact that she has 4 other kids, why is she living at your house? Why is she staying at your house? Why are you in a relationship with her? Why are you having a kid with her?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So I don't know. That the second she was the second witness. Her name is Christina Holly. I still think something's up with her. Could be wrong. If I'm
Need
wrong,
to
I'll admit it.
study
But
her.
just
Hmm.
Christina Holly.
yeah, Chris. Hold on. Let me go to.
My thing is, I think he wanted. I think his mother wanted her to have a child with him.
No, his
She
mom
could take
didn't
that
like
baby,
Crystal.
but
His
Yeah.
so she
mom
could
didn't
take the
want him.
baby.
Oh, well, that could be, but even before she got pregnant, I guess his mom didn't like her.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm not.
because she said that
Did
Crystal was beneath them.
yeah?
Yeah.
She always said that. But what I'm saying is, I believe his mother wanted her to have a child so she could take that baby away from her.
Yeah, that could. I mean, that could be.
Okay.
Why do
Sally
these
Mae, I put her
people
name in the back chat.
Okay.
these people come up with these plans to get rid of a parent because they think they're going to get the child, and it backfires on them every damn time.
Look at Veronica Butler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What happened to her and Jillian Kelly?
I just
Eh,
don't know
eh,
how people think they're going to get away with it. Do you
you
know
know,
how
it.
hard it is to actually get away with
Well,
unaliving
a
somebody
lot of
now?
a lot of people think if there's no body, then there's no
Yeah.
case,
No,
and that's
no
just not
body,
the
no
case.
conviction.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
how they think. No body,
Yeah,
no conviction.
Yeah.
We all know better, but some random
Yeah.
ass person out in society thinks, hey, if they can't find the body, they can't convict me. But guess what? Yes, they
Mhm.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's all different now. It's
Yeah.
totally, you
Yeah.
know, there's been a lot of convictions without bodies.
We're too advanced
Yeah,
now.
I mean, we know better,
yeah, of course.
you know.
But
Hey,
these
Joe,
dumb criminals,
stop
these
calling
dumb
people
criminals.
hookers.
Oh yeah, I always call Avery that.
She does. Is she back there in the back chat calling me a hooker?
No,
No,
She did
she
I'm
called.
just
earlier.
beginning because
She,
that's what I always
yeah,
do.
she called you that at 11:35, and we're at 12:12 now. You are so
Oh,
behind timing.
I
Yeah,
know. I
you
know.
are like way out.
I know. I'm not. I'm tired too. I'm not
And
like
so you said you put
upset.
it in the back chat,
Yeah, I put the woman's name, and then
private chat?
Cats don't
yeah, the
like to.
private chat, and then I also put that she was the second witness on the stand today.
Christina Hawley,
Yeah,
Holley.
yeah, there was her, and then after Christina was Amanda Greenwell, which was Crystal's cousin. She just basically testified that yes, she did see Crystal at Walmart that afternoon. Crystal talked about her and Brooks going on this surprise date. She didn't know where they were going or what they were going to be doing, but she was excited. So those two were, well, Crystal's daughter and the next two witnesses were fairly quick from what I had read, as far as notes or whatever. The longest one so far is the fourth witness, which is Detective John Snow.
Which
Okay,
is
so
the one that wanted to come over and get pizza? Was that the
That's
first?
that's Christina Holly.
okay, that's the one that
Hmm.
was going to keep the kids.
That's the one that Brooks told because she grew up with Brooks. He
Right,
told her, "Hey Gigi, how are you?" She
Hi,
told Brooks.
Gigi.
Brooks told her that if him and Crystal split, he had enough money to take their baby away, and somehow she ends up at Crystal's house that afternoon with Crystal and the kids. Offers to take the kids to get pizza, and Crystal says, "No, you can't because we're supposed to go out tonight without the kids." And all that. I just thought that that was kind of weird how it
mm-hmm.
was put out that her and Brooks grew up together. He made that statement about taking the little boy because he had enough money if they split up. And
Right.
then she all of a sudden ends up at the house the day that
That
she goes missing. Yes.
that poor girl, Crystal. Here she is thinking he's taken her out on a romantic date and not even knowing that
It's for nefarious reasons.
to end
Yep.
her life. See, this is why you just can't trust men.
This is
Yep,
why I keep telling you, Avery.
that's
So,
right.
well, that's why I've only dated one man in the last
What?
14
and
years.
and
Oh,
and look how
come
he turned
on.
out.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
Okay, so King
Oh,
Honestly,
says a plot twist. The killer is. It's gonna be a huge ass plot twist, King, when it comes up that Christina Holly might have had something else to do with it too. I'm just
that's
saying.
that's a good.
yeah, that
Yeah,
would
Yes.
I,
be.
I could be wrong, and y'all, if I am wrong, y'all know I will come back and say that I was wrong about what I'm saying. But in my opinion, I think it's weird that that
yeah,
was brought up. And
yeah.
It
So
is
Listen,
weird.
I
has
agree with you.
has Brooks dated anyone since
yes,
Crystal disappeared?
his current girlfriend's name is Crystal.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
has
Wow.
she said
Oh, my
what?
God.
Oh, whoa, Chris, that okay, that just went right
Yeah,
over
Yeah,
my head.
that's. Oh my
Um,
God.
has she spoke out on him? Like, what is she saying?
no, I would think she's going to be a witness. I know that his sister, his mama's boyfriend, and who else was it? There was another family member. Maybe it was Crystal that showed up at
Is
court today.
is she
That's going to be a win
supporting
for
him?
him.
Yeah, they were all there for him.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm.
huh. What does she look like?
I don't know.
Looks like
I
a
have no
dog.
idea. So I think it was. I want to say I know that the sister and the mama's boyfriend was there. I know those. Hold on. I can tell you. Just give me a second.
Sally
Hey,
Mae, did you
Bubbles.
just say she looks like a dog?
Yeah, I was trying to be funny.
Okay,
You
so
know,
wait a minute. I got to say something. Y'all know how Sally Mae is always down in the chat screaming, squirrel, squirrel. Can we get back on topic? and all this and that. Y'all remember that? And now Sally
Yeah.
Mae's up here trying to make jokes on panel.
Yeah. She's distracted me about 15 times, so she
So
can't
that
ever
I
say,
used to drive summer, mostly summer, crazy because when I would come on panel, like on uh, backstage
Uh,
with Vapor and those guys, I would like eat chips and
yeah.
M&Ms. I would smack my lips on purpose because I knew it pissed
oh,
Summer
I
off. She would
mm-mm.
get so mad. It was so funny.
Oh,
Can't get.
Jaden was doing that on the drive over from the restaurant to the theater, and I told him, I said, Jaden, I am about to pull over and pull out my nail glue and super glue your lips together. Oh, his friend thought that was so funny. His
I
friend was just,
will. I can tell you now. If I'm sitting somewhere and somebody is smacking, I will put you on blast so quick.
me
If
Oh
I
yeah,
too.
if
someone would yell at me, and I did it louder on purpose because I knew it would get her going.
Oh yeah,
oh
she can't handle
I'll
anybody
stab you with
eating
a fork.
and hearing
no,
it.
I don't like
I'll stab you
smacking.
with a
I don't
fork.
like slurping. I don't none of that. If mm-mm.
So I got to be careful about what I say because I know Summer likes to be in the bushes.
Well, if Summer is in the
Hey,
bushes,
Summer.
Summer needs to show up in chat and say hi to everybody.
I haven't
Who,
seen her on
who
YouTube
was
anywhere.
there? She was
I
there
haven't
the other
either.
night when we were on your other channel.
She was in there.
Yeah,
Well,
I
why didn't
didn't
she
see
say
her.
hi?
I don't know. She's probably resting in bed or something.
Okay, so
You
she's
know, like
resting
a
in bed.
lady.
How much energy does it take to type
I don't
HEY?
know. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen her anywhere on YouTube.
Yeah, I
She's
haven't seen her.
around.
I haven't even
You
heard
see
from
her
her.
over on Savage
She,
Live and
yeah,
some of
she
the
goes over there
other
a lot.
things
Okay.
over there in the drama world. She tries to
Uh,
stay out of that, but sometimes she's in.
I know I saw somewhere a picture of his sister and his mama's boyfriend walking into court, and they said that it was who else was with them, and now I can't find it. Just that much bullshit. Let me just type again.
Oh my god.
Musical, don't you dare send me over to Gay Hughes or Gary Hughes.
What?
Musical said she's going to send me over to Gray Hughes because of slurping on the panel.
Yeah,
It's almost it's almost as easy to get him to yell as it is to get Prayer Garden of America to yell.
we ain't even gonna talk about that, Sally Mae. I had to go
I
shower
don't
and
know
talk.
anything about that at all.
I had well, Lost Souls don't know nothing about it either. But I tell you, that Scarlet was getting with it over there last night in that chat, though, wasn't she?
Yeah, they knew who you were
I
and
think they did too.
what you had coming, so they were blocking you left and
Oh,
Oh,
right.
oh
I
yeah,
know
they.
what you guys are talking about now. I'm sitting here like, wait, what?
I know
Now
what
I
they were talking
remember.
about because every time they would say something, it'd pop up on my phone.
Too funny.
Okay.
I never thought I'd see the day where Scarlet is trolling.
No, she doesn't know anything about all that.
Sometimes you gotta have some
Okay,
fun.
That was
but
Sally.
hold on. In Lost Souls did not do it. Scarlet from
No,
Lost
she
Souls
did
did not
not.
do it. It was
That
No,
is
Scarlet from
true.
it was
off.
the other.
It was
It was the
Scarlet
other
from
Scarlet.
off the record.
Right.
That
Scarlet.
is true. I get all excited in Discord when I see Sally say, "Hey,
The other
anybody
Scarlet.
want to come troll with me?" And I'm like, "What channel? Let's go!" Because this, because she doesn't
But
do anything like out of the way. It's just
wait,
fun.
Well, I'm totally blocked over there, so I need some help.
I was surprised she
and
ain't unblocked you.
yes, Courtney. I was so offended. I even told them that they're gonna call me Lisa. I was so offended with that.
Where's Courtney? I don't see Courtney.
Courtney, she's in the chat. Is your chat on my chat?
Yeah, it's on my chat.
Yeah, she's down
They
there at the
called you
bottom.
Lisa.
Yes, they called me Lisa. I was so offended. If y'all followed the Summer Wells
Lisa.
case, and
Well, I
what is
followed Summer Wells.
My
Lisa's last
chat,
name?
my chat froze.
I can't remember what Lisa's last name is, but they thought yes, they said that I was Lisa. I
I
told them
know
I
who
am
you're
offended
talking
that
about.
you called me that.
I don't
I know who you're
remember.
talking about.
I don't remember who Lisa is from the Summer Wells
She
case.
She was
she
somebody that was over on PG's and they kicked her to the curb.
yeah,
Yeah,
like 1,000 different times.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's a
Yeah.
joke.
But every time Scarlett would go in there, and at first she went in there, she said hi. They were rude too because they didn't say hi back to Scarlett. Scarlett
Well,
let
that
that
was
slide.
rude.
And then one of the mods said hi. Scarlett says hi back, and then all of a sudden Scarlett's like, because Scarlett was trying to
Go
get
out there with
you
your mom.
know, that was the challenge that I had from Sally was to make people holler, and so Scarlett, hold on, I got the
Little
screenshot
one.
of what was said because it screenshots or it didn't happen, right? I got the screenshots
Too
because I,
Okay.
I was I was
Yep.
all up in there watching to see what Scarlett had to say. Wait, hold on.
Now that I got a sidetrack, now I want to take us back to the interview.
Okay, yeah, I'll bring it up in just a second. Okay, so
Oh,
Scarlett's like because PG was in there playing Ernie Shell and talking about Dawn. Same shit she was talking about 3 years ago. So
oh Lord.
Scarlett's like, I'm just curious, PG. How do you know so much about what Dawn did? And also, I see that you're still crushing on Ernie Shell.
Oh my goodness.
Timed out.
Oh,
So Scarlett waits her 5 minute timeout. She comes back in and she says, "Am I still in timeout?" And PG's like, "Well, I didn't know you were in timeout. This is America. We don't get timed out over here." Guess what? Scarlett got timed out 3 total times.
Dang.
Oh
this is
my God.
America.
But Vapor, it is a third person talk because it was not Scarlett from this channel. See what I'm
No,
saying? It was Scarlett
Gotcha.
from Off the Record with Scarlett.
You know, that off the record girl, Scarlett, I'm just not sure about her. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
funny.
I'm
Well,
no
if you're not
comment.
sure about it, then why you go up on the panel?
Exactly.
Huh? Answer that.
Yeah, Avery.
Well, I'm not even sure about myself, so
Got a wild child in the back here. So,
yeah,
No,
here's her.
she's not hurting anything. And then Avery got jealous the other night over at its
What?
channel, talking about Scarlett is mine.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
what
whose
happened? I
channel?
missed.
Who? Oh, the expert. We were in Yeah, it was in the expert. Yeah,
Yeah.
And what happened?
I had to tell them Scarlett's mine,
Oh my gosh.
and then Scarlett's like, "You have to share, Avery."
Sounds like
Oh,
something
goodness sake.
Scarlett would say.
Well, I mean, no, he was wanting me to come up on panel. He was
Right.
like, one of these days, I will have Scarlett on panel with me on the same screen. And I was like, yeah, one day. Avery's like, Scarlett is mine. I was like, you've got to share,
I
you
can
know.
imagine how Avery just like puts that out
And
there.
then he gives me a wrench. And I already knew that he was going to give me one because he had sent me a message and asked if he could. So that way, because a lot of times creators will give other creators a wrench in their chat, so they
Right.
know that that is the right creator
Yeah.
coming into
Yeah.
the chat.
Yeah.
And because I used to do it on here when I first started, and so I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to do any mod. You'll know that it's me or whatever. As soon as I got it, Avery's like, "Where's my wrench at?"
I love giving him a
That's
hard time,
funny.
though.
Avery, you're
Yeah,
so
what?
jealous, Avery.
I'm not. I just have fun.
No, you're
Wait, what is the
jealous
hell? What is
sometimes.
Sally? What is the news station again?
WH,
WHAS 11.
yeah.
Okay, I was putting wash11.com. My bad. Vapor, some of it is, some of it's not. She's not genuine with it though. She's still 3 years later. The last time I was in her chat, still talking about the same exact thing, and
Yeah.
there's nothing new on that case. So I don't understand. Like she's literally dragging it out for clicks, views, and super chats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she came
Yeah.
in. Me and Jason were on a panel on a morning show, and Jason was talking about the tip that he got about Summer and, blah, 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 blah. We're up there just talking. Well, here she comes in the chat, and she wants to start making all these like crazy remarks to Jason. And I'm just sitting here thinking, lady, you don't know what you're doing. You just don't know what you're doing. Don't do it. Don't do it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, she's
You get
uh,
nasty.
she's something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
is.
is.
Cuss them and then pray for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what she does.
Sally, I'm looking for the interview. I know that it is on. I know there was a link
I
to
actually
the
just
interview.
saw it somewhere. I don't remember where it was though.
And Crystal was so pretty too, y'all.
It's if you just type in on YouTube the Brooke Houck's
Little bro-
interrogation,
That's
you'll
enough.
pull it right up.
No, I got it right here. Wait,
Well,
it's this? Yeah,
fine then.
it's the whole hour and 58 minutes.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Oh wait, we ain't gonna listen to the whole thing now, Sally Mae. What part of it do you want to listen to? Is
I
there?
don't know where the timestamp is for the where he is kind of like incriminating himself. And
Well, we could listen to like part of it tonight and part of it
yeah,
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
night? Okay. So what time is it? I've been on here 2 hours now.
12:30.
She's already trying to get rid of us.
Yeah, she's gonna kick us out.
No, I'm trying to think of what time it is because what is
Right.
tomorrow? Thursday?
Yep,
I don't, I
all
have to
day
get up at
long.
I gotta get up at 8 in the morning. I'm trying to think if I shower after I'm done. Yeah, I have to work my timelines out here because I have to shower and then eat before I go to bed. So if I go to bed by 2:30, that'll give
No,
me
no,
five
you
and a half
can put
hours.
yourself straight.
What the fuck is playing? Hold on, there's something playing in the background here. We need to get rid of that.
What? Girl, use that swear jar.
I go broke. I'm like, I owe the swear jar. I done gave it all my money and still owe it some.
I just put IOUs in my swear jar.
There ain't no sense of having a swear jar.
Well, I'm saying, don't do me no good. I go broke and then have to take the money out that I put in it and re-put it back in there.
Yeah, so there ain't no sense of having it.
Okay, let's see. All right, let me drop.
No matter how much you try
Yeah.
to to try not to cuss, it always comes
It,
out anyway.
yep, it's gonna happen.
All right, so I'm gonna play about 10 minutes of this, and then we will stop it tomorrow. They're supposed to be back at 8:30 Central Time. Um, so I'm gonna get the notes for tomorrow during the trial, and then I'm sure Sally Mae will have some more if she wants to come back up on panel. Uh, wait, what? Of course, she also said if the phone rings. Wait, what, Deb? Of course, she also said if the phone answers, ring it. Wait, did I say that?
What?
What?
What? Who? I don't
That's
even
what
know.
Deborah said in chat. I'm confused. Because I could have said that.
Of course, she said.
Nobody else is doing
What?
it.
Oh, she said no, my mom. Okay, I was okay. Because
Oh,
I have been known to say shit backwards.
oh, her mom is 85
Aw.
and not known to hang up the phone correctly. So I
Oh,
always have to hang up first. Then I call her on her cell phone if her phone is off the hook.
Oh, okay. King said no. She was commenting. She was answering to her. Okay, I
No,
just seen it right when she posted, and I was thinking I could have said that.
that's
No,
funny.
this
um,
girl has nothing to say
I
for.
have. I mean, I get words. I see a word and think it's something else, like chicken and kitchen.
do you guys know who Courtney's talking about? We need to dive into the Ketty murders. What's Ketty murders?
I
Never
don't
heard of
know.
it. But hold on, I'll write it down so I don't
Where's
forget.
that
Where? I don't see where Courtney said that.
It's up
at?
above.
Keddy,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
Kegggie.
I see it.
Courtney, when I went live yesterday, you weren't in my chat on my channel, and I was very upset about it. And Gigi wasn't
You would
there.
chew her out.
Gigi probably
Gee,
can't get on a whole lot during the day either, though.
can you drop my channel link can one of the
Yeah,
mods drop it or
uh,
something? Okay.
comment in chat real quick so I can just go straight to your channel.
Okay.
And be nice.
Courtney, did this happen when you lived in California?
And Deborah, you do not have to come in here and be quiet.
Oh Lord, I
Just,
Oh
take back
Lord.
Avery.
just
None of us are quiet.
no, just drop in the chat and just go to talk and join in a conversation. Ain't no sense in being quiet over here.
I commented.
I got it. I got your link now. It's easier for me to go to it like that and grab the link than it is
Courtney, you
having
don't
to
have to
search
be
for it.
sorry. Avery's just pulling on your leg.
Oh, the Ketty murders are an unsolved quadruple homicide that occurred over the night in, dang it, that stupid dollar sign's in my way,
I,
April 12th, 1981 in Ketty, California. Wow, I've never heard of that, I don't
Oh, well,
think.
maybe you can come up on panel when you look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I'm writing all this down.
Courtney, are you subbed to my channel? She said maybe.
Oh, we've never
No,
had Courtney on panel.
maybe she can come up on panel when we talk about the Keddy murder.
Yeah,
Yes.
she said maybe.
Cool.
She had her senior pictures in Ketty. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look that up.
Girl.
I'm about to send this baby somewhere.
Send her right on over to Louisiana to me. She's perfectly fine.
You can
I
stay with Scarlett.
tell her to
Okay.
keep it low, and she's back in there
She's not hurting
hollering.
anything, though. She's
Oh
not hurting
God.
anything.
Vapor's trying to be like me. Go away.
Hold on, let me
Poor
grab his
Vapor.
too.
You know, one day he's gonna snap on you, Avery,
I'm gonna snap on him.
and we're all gonna laugh.
Nah.
He's never
We're about to listen to the interview.
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Take personal matters elsewhere.
okay, I'm ready. I'll mute.
Okay, Courtney, I just dropped his channel link in the chat. Okay, let me maximize this out to full screen. Okay, when it starts talking, y'all let me know if I or not.
Wait, what'd you say, Scarlett? You went out.
I said whenever they start talking, y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
Oh, okay.
I just called.
We hear it.
He's not answering his phone yet, so he must still be in the middle of it. All right, that's all right. All right, I'm gonna take a minute here and read through your statement, if that's all right. Yes. Get an idea. You might have answered some of my questions already, so.
But I did, I was trying to cover as much as I could. If my writing's not real as you just asked me, I can clarify real quick for you.
You can turn that up a little.
Okay, yeah. 4 o'clock, Bluegrass Center.
And I don't know these, I put approximately, I think it's before.
Yeah, that's it. I don't expect you to know exactly.
Yeah, there's no way for me to.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things that I was confused about because Kylie had said that she was gone before. She said she had told me that she was gone before you got back from the gas station and before Mom got home. But I don't think that's correct because her grandma said she picked her up about 7:30. So you guys were already gone from the house. She had to be there while y'all were there, right? Is this Friday? You working on the new construction on Friday?
Yeah, and I didn't put that order, but I put all that right there. The farther you go, the more clarified I get. I broke it down into segments.
Oh, these are the people whose house you were working on?
Yeah, all these right here are people that I'm overseeing, that I'm speaking or talking to. We'll just look at my phone to get my exact time. I got my phone in there, and that way you can build a timeline of all this stuff that I do this every day. So me looking back, I had to know what time it is.
Right.
There's no way for me to remember that. I mean, you'll see the more that you get to looking through there, you'll see how much I've got in my head to try to keep up with. All these are guys that are working for me that help me, every one of them.
Okay.
And then these right here, I skipped a line to break that and put locations, and then I did it in subdivision. So y'all know where my vehicle, y'all know where I'm at, my phone and everything. Those are the numerical address, the street address, and this is the type of work that I've got going on past that hyphen mark. Those are the type of work I've got going on at each construction. So every one of them is a separate job. And then this right here is for the whole subdivision, keep the Woodlawn Springs homeowner subdivision, the president and all the members, the committee and stuff on. I want to keep the subdivision looking nice, trash and debris and all that kind of stuff. The metal grates in the road, the curb and gutter and all that. And this is just kind of like a daily thing. I've got to go through this every day to keep everybody rolling and everybody happy. And this switches subdivisions. You see I put copper fields up here, and then these are the number of houses I got going out there. I've got different subs in different spots.
Sorry, that thing will go off pretty constantly.
That's fine. That's
I've got people all over the county. So.
All right.
That was him. He's on his way back with your phone.
All right.
And I thought I had busy days.
I've just been used to custom to this, that's how I grew up.
Right. Was your dad a builder?
My dad was a construction worker for CSX Railroad.
Oh, okay.
About 24, 25 years. I read a book when I was in high school. That's what started me doing this. Do you know what those abbreviations are? Like
Lincoln National, Wilson Muir, Town and Country,
Springfield State Bank.
Springfield.
You want me to write that out for you?
No, that's all right. That was the only one I didn't recognize.
All right. Nobody else will write on that though, correct?
No, and I'm gonna make you a copy to show
And
you.
I want to be sure that nobody else, messes with none of my stuff.
Right. No, you're gonna get a copy of it so that you can look at mine and look at yours and say they're the exact same thing.
All right.
In fact, I'll do that right now. Better do it, take 4 pages at a time, running it up there. Need to recycle tablets in the best. In just a second, I'll bring it right back.
Avery, do you see Melissa's question in chat? Wait, where did Avery go? She ain't even up here with us.
She's not.
No, I didn't even realize she wasn't up here.
Her phone probably died.
Oh, she fell off.
Oh.
Okay, well, Avery, do you see Melissa's question in chat? Okay, where are we at here? All right, I'm gonna go to the 15-minute mark on the video.
Okay.
Take a minute, go through those page by page and compare them just to make sure that everything's good to go on.
Looks good to me, sir.
I'll take the original if you'll keep a copy, this way we'll both have a copy. All right, put this in the file. So we're obviously we're hearing tons and tons of rumors, right?
All right.
And I know Bardstown is the rumor mill of the world, but in a case like this, should it turn into a homicide investigation, any question that I didn't ask doesn't get asked. Does that make sense?
I don't understand what you're saying, but.
Well, if I don't ask you, then somebody's gonna ask me why I didn't ask you later. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So when I ask you a question, it's not to be offensive, it's to get the question cleared up so that we can move on to another.
I understand. Yeah, I'll help however I can.
So one of the rumors that we're hearing is that you all had gotten notice from the IRS that you were being investigated for tax evasion. Is that correct or incorrect?
No, sir.
Not
that is-
correct. And again, these are all rumors that people are calling in about.
That's
so.
fine. And where you can get a legitimate source, you're also about verifying everything. Get right across the street here, up here at Gilbert Brown Company CPAs does my taxes. He has for several years. If I need to sign a form to release all his documentation on me for that, you're all more than welcome to it. And that's the easiest way for me.
These are
That's fine.
rumors.
Ask whatever you gotta ask.
Spelling. Had you and Crystal ever talked about breaking up?
I mean, obviously we have fought just like any other,
Sure.
any other couple, but in the last several years, I mean, it's came up, but we've always found ourselves together moving forward. So that it's mentioned, but it's never happened, and we've always found ourselves together moving forward.
Okay. I know she didn't work out of the home currently, but had she worked out of the home recently? Had she had a job outside of taking care of the rental properties?
Well, she took care of 2 young children. So she did some babysitting there at the house for some extra money. One little boy was about Eli's size, and other was, I don't know how old, but he was a little bit older. And I don't know how long, if it was 8 months or a year, but she had worked at the store up the road from our house for I don't want to say anything discriminatory. I don't want to say if they're not Americans, but they own.
They're Indians.
All right, yeah. I don't want to say nothing that's
convenience store.
Yeah, convenience store. She worked for some folks up there. I do not know that. I think it might be Sandy or Sandeep or something like that, but I don't know She worked up there at that gas station for quite some time, but that's been quite some time ago.
Was that before or after Eli was born?
I think she started there before he was born, and she did work some there when he was after he was born. She worked for a pretty good period of time there, but it's been quite some time back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's 2.5. So do you
He's
think
a little bit over than 2.5.
Yeah.
He'll be 3 in October.
almost 3? Yeah.
All right.
So you think it was a year ago or better since you worked there?
Probably approximately. I don't know. I would say give or take a 6-month window there, something like that would probably be pretty accurate. But I do not know the answer to that. I do not know. I just know that it's been a period of time.
Was it since you've lived together, have you all always lived on Glenview?
That's the only house since Eli has been born. We brought him home from the hospital. We lived there.
Okay.
Yes. That's the only residence.
You all were living there when she was working at the, and when she stopped working at the.
When she stopped working there. There was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 other girls that worked up there with her. I don't know their names. They didn't have a large amount of employees, just a few.
When you said you all had talk about splitting up, had that been more recently, or was that before Eli was born, or had that been?
I don't remember the exact dates, but if you'll recall back in a couple of days ago when we had talked, whenever usually that had came up, she had always went to like Sabrina's house, or she went out with Brooke or to her parents for a short period of time, a day and a half, and after she cooled off, and we had a chance to talk a little bit, we always found ourselves back together. But it has been at times a stressed relationship. I'm not here telling you anything other than that. That is the truth, and that's accurate. Yeah. That has been discussed, but we've always found ourselves together. We loved each other very much, and that right there is the bottom end of it.
Well, the reason I ask is because there are some people that she's associated with that are telling us that she had made some tentative plans to leave, like looking at an apartment at that store above the apartment above the store. I'm just trying to figure out if that was something that was ancient history or if that was something that was more recent.
Well, that's news to me. I don't know anything about that.
So when you all, let's say the last time you all had discussed splitting up, she didn't discuss any specifics with you about moving to an apartment or anything like that? Just that you all were having some issues and you resolved it?
Say all that again.
Yeah.
Break your question. Break them down.
The last time that you all had that type of a disagreement, okay? The last time that there was the possibility that you might split up, did she specifically talk to you about moving out somewhere?
No, not anything that she's never had an isolated point saying, "Hey, I'm moving here, moving there." I don't recall anything like that.
Okay.
Sir.
That was my question.
All right.
Just if she had.
Well, sometimes I know that you all do this for a living. Sometimes I feel like when you ask me a question, you put so many things, and I'm thinking we need to dissect it a little bit so I can answer each part specifically rather than put so. And I'm not. Please don't upset at me for saying that to you.
No.
Put so much stuff in when I want to break it down in a simplified, direct question rather than put so much information into one question. Try to answer one and have a bunch of parts in one.
No, that's fine. If you need me to, that's fine. What you did right there is just fine.
All right, yeah, I just know what you did.
Ask it a different way or ask.
Because I want you helping me.
No,
all right, that's all right.
That's fine. That's no problem at all.
Okay, y'all, I'm going to stop it right here since it's in between questions. I need to write the time down here. Hold on.
Okay.
And tomorrow night, okay, hold on, let me write this down. All right, so we're stopping at the 20-minute, 36-second mark. All right, so tomorrow I will get all of the information from the trial for day 2. I don't know how long Detective Jon Snow will be on the stand. I'm pretty sure, I would think, for a while longer because he really wasn't on there a whole long time today. But so we'll go over that. Like I said, Sally Mae, if you want to come up tomorrow night again, you're more than welcome to. Uh, and we will try to finish out the interview because it's like right at 2 hours. It's hour and 58 minutes. So that's what that we'll do tomorrow night. So Sally, they start in the morning at 8:30. Um, are you going to be up that early in the morning? Since because I mean I'm going to get up just so I can
No, I had to be up very early this morning for my doctor appointment, so I'm probably going to be sleeping.
sleeping in. Okay, all right. Well, I'll be up because I have to get up by 9:45 anyway.
Okay.
But in the morning, I got to get up at 8. So no vapor. They're not live streaming it, but the WHAS 11 News is doing a blog every day where they're giving updates because they have someone in the courtroom, and then lawyer Lee. And I posted her YouTube link in the chat and in Discord. She's actually there in the courtroom, and she's going live throughout the day when like they're on lunch break and stuff like that. And then she does a full breakdown in the afternoon after court of what happened in the courtroom. So I'm just going to keep up with the news station and what they're talking about. Uh, and then we will finish the interrogation of him because I remember watching this way back. It's been a
Yeah,
while,
me too. It's been a
and
while.
yeah, and I mean this, like I said, in a week or so, a little over a week, it'll be 10 years since this happened, since she went missing. And I believe his interview or his interrogation was July the 7th, I think, is what I had wrote down. So just
Yeah,
a few
at
days.
some point, Nick calls him or he calls Nick
Hmm.
and Nick tells him to cut it off.
Yeah. So that's what we'll do. Because it's already 1 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. I need to be up by 8 o'clock just so I can get done what I need to get do and then get started. So I'm not so far behind on the notes and stuff tomorrow. Uh, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the live here. I will be back tomorrow night. I should be live tomorrow night starting at 10 o'clock
Okay.
instead of
All right.
10:30 or whatever. So I think that's what we'll do.
All right.
Anyway,
Up down.
okay. Well, Betty Joe, thank you for coming up.
Yep. No problem.
All right, and have a good
Good
night.
night. Good night, Sally.
Good night.
Bubbles in the background. Vapor, have a good night. Let's see, I'll be rewatching. Okay, just done. Let me. I can't remember if I posted the interrogation in Discord, but I'll post that in there also.
Good night, everyone.
All right, Sally Mae, thank you for coming up tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, anytime you want to come up here, just
All right.
let me
Cool.
know. I'll drop you the link. You know that.
All right.
So you have a good night. Hopefully you'll get some sleep tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks.
All right. So talk with you later. Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen here, y'all. Deborah, you have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for stopping in. Gigi, you have a wonderful night. Avery, if you're still in here, thank you for coming up on panel, even though you fell off. Gigi, you are very welcome. Jason, you're very welcome. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Like I said, we will finish up the interrogation tomorrow night, and we'll also go over the notes. And I'll probably be in and out of Discord throughout the day tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere that I know of. I don't think I do, or think that I have to. Um, I mean, King Scarlet, I didn't even know. I thought she was still up here. That's why I paused it to make sure she saw Melissa's question because I didn't even realize I was watching the video. I wasn't paying attention to StreamYard. Tiff, we love you too. Thank you so much for coming in. All right, y'all. Y'all all have a wonderful night. If y'all are in the path of these storms, y'all be safe. I love you all, and I will talk with y'all tomorrow night.